Hello everyone, this is Zero here with a game in my T57. I decided I'm going to do this one not live. I was really struggling to get some good gameplay live, mostly because I was trying a tank that I'm not a big fan of. I jumped in my T57 just to see what would happen for a game. I got a full tier 10 game on Fisherman's Bay. Not my favorite map, but honestly in the T57 I do kind of like it, so I'm happy about that. I'm going mid, which I don't know if that's meta. I don't know if that's the best idea. I don't know if the E3 is complaining about me. Uh, Either way, I'm pretty excited for this matchup. So there's 3 artillery, which everybody knows in the T57. You need to be incredibly careful because those artillery will destroy me, and I'll have nobody to blame but myself. So you'll see here, I don't know if I'm on this level yet, but my teammate is spotted. So of course artillery lobs a shell in on him. I eat, 184 damage and a stun. No big deal. I pop my med kit because I don't want to be stunned right at the beginning of the battle, especially if I think there's an opportunity to shoot these guys. I think I do make a good move here. I see the E100. I don't have easy pens. I don't have heat loaded. They did have some opportunity to pen his lower plate there, so I just pulled the trigger because you may as well. So I'm waiting here. He's on 1760. He does delight right here. I'm pretty sure I've got his lower plate. It looks like I penetrated, so I'm actually pretty happy about that damage. I did get the next one in. I'm going to wait, see if I can get this one. I can't find him through the trees. He's behind a building, so I'm going to reload now. I get lit. So this is where I usually end up taking damage for no reason. I either try to aggressively poke in the bushes on the right, or I back up too much, and I do get snapped by a TD or a tank hiding in the buildings just to the left there on their side. So yes, I shouldn't be looking this way because I shouldn't have shots, but never underestimate your enemy. That T100 was going to come up and give me shots. I whiffed the shot like a scrub. It is what it is. And then I think I made a bad decision here. I probably should have reloaded. You can see it's already been about 5 or 6 seconds. I'd have been about a third of the way through my reload. Now I'd be about half of the way through my reload, and I'd have all 4 shells for this moment. So the TVP is going to dump on me, but the nice thing is he's averaging 300 damage. I'm averaging right around 4. So I did only get 3 shells. That 4th shell would have made a huge difference. I mean, the timing would have been different. I may not have had that opportunity. But it did work out really well. It was a positive trade for us. That TVP is down about 300 more health than me. Also, I'm a heavy, so I can afford it. That's kind of what I'm for, is to brawl and trade some of that HP. So you're going to see one of my favorite things right now, because everybody in Guns U, everybody always complains, why does Zero hate the E5? Why can't I bring the E5? It's a better Super Conqueror. The damage is great. It's been buffed. It's an amazing tank. And you know what? It's not bad. But you're about to see why it's not good. So I know I'm dueling this guy. Again, I'm on 3 shells. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know if I think I'm about to get damage. I mean, I'm clearly waiting for the E5 to make a mistake, so maybe that was my logic of keeping the 3 shells instead of going for a 4-shell reload. So I start dumping my shells. He turns. That one was a sketchy pen. I don't know that it should have penetrated, but that last one was the money shot. If I had another shell, I would have put another one into his cupola. He was perfectly hull down, and I dunked one right into his cupola with a T57 that has a huge gun bloom. And honestly, if I'd had another shell loaded, I would have dumped another one in. No question, it would have gone in. It does show yellow, but it's actually a quite low chance that I would bounce on that tank in that particular spot with this tank. So I am keeping it locked to my view because I want to see what I was looking at. I see a couple times I should have been looking at the TVP or T57 when I'm looking at the E5. I did dwell on this E5 longer than I should have. I'm a little sad the 261 delit right as I was kind of ready to go out and get a bead on him. You can blind shot, but I didn't quite have the bead to get the right draw on him to know where to shoot. So that TVP is low. My thought is I'm YOLOing across to kill a TVP. I then realize my teammates killed him. But I'm also thinking, I whiffed the shot, of course, because I'm bad at the game. Neither of those were the T57's fault. That was not the gun handling's fault. That was all my fault. I am the only one to blame. That one kind of stunk. I thought that should have penned. But again, sometimes you're just bad and you don't realize it. I only dumped 1 shot into this TVP for his whole clip. Thankfully, though, he made a huge mistake. He was firing heat, so you can see actually here that my track absorbed the first one, and then he bounced the second 2, which may have been into your track. I'd have to think pretty hard on that, whether that indicator, shows tracking or not. So I know he's on reload. I'm going to come around. I'm going to dunk him. I know that I see this T57 running. I know they're both 1-shots. So even if they decide to shoot back at me, I'm pretty confident I can get the kills with my interclip reload. So I'm going to shoot at the Manicore. I know he's in that direction. He might have gotten brave, come back out in the bush. And I hate reloading when I have a couple of shells in there. As you've seen, it's probably cost me about 6, 8 1,000 damage because I didn't reload. So I'm making a super noob right here. You'll see I'm loading one single shell in an autoloader. So about halfway through the reload at about 11 seconds, I look down and I realize, oh crap, I only have one shell left because I reloaded odd times, and now I'm loading heat. The only reason I bring heat in this tank, I'm actually not a big fan of heat, especially in autoloaders, because your dream is to auto or permatrack somebody. Heat's not ideal. It's going to be even worse against this Manticore. It's not necessarily what I want to be shooting the STRV with either, but it's what I have left. I bring it so that, if I know I need to fight a Malice and dump 2 or 3 clips into them, or a couple of Malice or E3s, I pretty much need that heat to do anything to them anywhere near frontally. Of course, that's not ideal, but I'd rather be able to switch to heat and have a chance of penetrating than just be sitting there with AP, giving them mission requirements, bouncing every shell I fire. So I'm pretty happy with this game. I ended at 35. I ended about 4K because I did pen that blind shot. So I'm actually really happy with this game. I think it went really well. There's definitely some things I could have improved. I could have probably had 5,000 damage if I just didn't make some of the mistakes that I made. So I'm really happy with this game. If you see anything major that I didn't notice that I could improve on, really anything, questions, comments, rude remarks are appreciated in the comments or in private message, just to help me get a little bit better at the game. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.